approaches.
We're splitting hairs here. If they run it back right away, it would be legendary historic stuff, especially with
Do you know Benavidez didn't stay for the main event?
What? Why?
Okay, I tried to get Benavidez on the main stage. I went to him and I said, Benavidez,
Yeah.
I'm on the main stage, and kind of like, let's push this main event because I know you wanna fight the winner. And I think it was his dad with him, and they're like, yeah. And then in my ear, they're like, Benavidez has got a plane to catch. I'm like,
What?
They said Benavidez has a plane to catch, and he can't wait for the main event. So he was not there. He did not see it.
Okay, that I can live with that.
So David Benavidez went all that far from the United States, that far around the world. You know how long that is from United States of America? To fly in there, only to fly out before the main event happens. First of all, I think that David Benavidez, I know he has pretty much his doubts of what he's going to do. And before he was supposed to be leaving or whatnot, or maybe even before he left, there were pictures up with him and Jake Paul, if you guys can remember. Him and Jake Paul had some type of teaser photo together, like they were about to fight in this, that, and the other. And it got me to thinking, what I think happened with David Benavidez, he came over there because he was invited. I don't think he paid for that shit. Of course, Turkey paid for it because he invited him to be there, and you know how Turkey is. Turkey wanted to get shit done because that's what he does. That's his MO. You know what I mean? He does things quick, fast, sharp, where you need to be. That's what he does. And I think David knew that, and I think what happened, that picture, that teaser that we saw might have had more truth to it than we really realize, okay, with him and Jake Paul. If you think about Jake Paul did call out Canelo. He blasted Canelo. He responded because he was livid with how Canelo played him. And he promised Canelo Alvarez, like, look, I promise you that my event or my fight will be bigger than your fight. And I think he's using David Benavidez as an opponent to fight because what he did say in his blasting of roasting of Canelo, he said, you're a bitch because you're afraid to fight David Benavidez. So why not use David Benavidez for a possible fight? Jake Paul fights on Netflix, just like he fought Mike Tyson. I think he offered David Benavidez and company a certain dollar amount. Probably similar, maybe not the same, but similar to what he said he gave maybe Mike, or a little lower. You know what I mean? Just like he offered Canelo. So the money is there. And I think it was offered that. And David Benavidez, when Jake Paul found out David was in Saudi Arabia, he offered him up, or he probably upped the ante on the amount of money that he offered him. And then at that point, David Benavidez was like, you know what? Let me get my ass back on a plane and let me go back over here and sign to get this damn money to fight Jake Paul. That's what I think did happen. On top of that, David Benavidez was talking shit like, hey, well, it just won't be me signing, and, it has to be me and Al Heyman. We come as an entity and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, you have to agree because Al Heyman is saying so. So you don't do anything without Al Heyman, and you think about the structure over there. Why would you, in 2025, after all the bullshit, after Adrian Broner, after Floyd Mayweather, after Deontay Wilder, after Luis Ortiz, after the fucking Charlos, after all of these guys, okay, why would you still want to only be or stay obligated with Al Heyman? I just don't buy that shit. I don't think that that's the case, because Al Heyman, if he's calling the shots for you, one thing we know about Al Al don't give a shit about no one else's money. He showed us that with the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford negotiation. Because before that fight was made, as you guys can remember, Al Heyman, whoever those people were, they came to Terrence Crawford and said, well, look, I have $40 million for you. I have $40 million for Errol. And then Terrence Crawford went to Al Heyman, and Al Heyman told Terrence, he told Errol Spence, there's no way that anybody is going to get in hold of this fight because this is mine. That's the mindset of Al Heyman. Deontay Wilder. There was no way Al Heyman was going to allow Deontay Wilder to sign with DAZN, which he admits after the fact he should have took that damn money because it was more money than Al Heyman was offering them. That loyalty shit only goes so far when those fighters are not even fighting. They're fighting once every 2 or 3 years. And he's a little pinching off pensions and fucking, funding these guys by the day and all that silly shit, where he could be just getting them fights and let them manage their own damn money the way he's supposed to, being an advisor or whatever the hell he's supposed to be. Okay? So I think that's what happened. So Al Heyman may be okay with the Jake Paul deal, but the Turki Al-Sheikh deal is different because I believe Al Heyman looks at Turki Al-Sheikh as his competitor, as his foreign competitor that has already came upon the United States of America and is already posting fights there, just like DAZN did back in the day, 6-7 years plus, if you guys can remember that. Okay, so I look at that like that. So you got Al Heyman in his ear. Then you have Jake Paul trying to feed his wallet. That's what I think's wrong with David Benavidez. And I think, the Mayweather ideology sets in because of that, because their mindset is, as long as I'm undefeated, I could always claim I'm the best because no one beat me. That's the Floyd Mayweather ideology. Okay, he's preached that in their Sunday school, and David Benavidez was front row, taking all that in, learning all that, and believing that by faith that that's the way he's supposed to go, versus fighting two Billy badasses that took each other's O. For one undisputed back to the other guy being undisputed, Artur and Dimitri. Why would you get beat by them? That goes against the doctrine of the PBC and Showtime and Floyd ideology. Okay, so I don't think that's the route to take. Okay, so that's my counterpunch on it. That's what I believe that happened. David Benavidez really didn't have to pay for much. He probably paid for his flight back. You know what I mean? But I just thought it was real strange and chicken shit that shady as hell, that you flew over there, way the hell over there, only to leave before the main event. What did you go for? You go before because you just wanted to shake Turkey's hand and then turn around and get back on a plane? Everyone knew that Turki Al-Sheikh wanted David Benavidez to fight the winner of Bivol versus Beterbiev. Everyone knew that. And he leaves. That tells you everything you need to know, people. There won't be a David Benavidez fight. And for the people that already predicted this, shout out to Ring IQ and others that already said, Bruce Vane as well. They said David wouldn't fight any of those dudes because he's too chicken shit to fight them. And I didn't want to believe that because David Benavidez, to me, is a hell of a fighter. And I'm like, man, give David some slack because David, I think he's a good dude. I seen him on All the Smoke with Andre Ward, and I was thinking he's a pretty stand-up dude. But I think, you can't be that stand-up if you're still following Al Heyman. Al Heyman's going down like Don King. Fast. Okay? He's been around about 10 years, and his 10 years is up. And you got to roll with the punches. You got to go like Kate Abdu. You got to go like Sean Porter. You got to go like Deontay Wilder. You got to go like all those other fighters that took their ass to DAZN. Okay? Because they figured out this is where it's at right now. In 10 years, it may be something else. It may not be. But nonetheless, you can't confine yourself to one particular network following an advisor that I think makes egotistical decisions, not based on the benefit of the fighter, but based on himself. But you guys tell me what you think of David Benavidez, not even present to see the main event between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching.